Hello and welcome to another episode of Insider Focus. What a day, a frantic Friday in the transfer window. We knew it was all going to kick off at the end of June. I did tell you the end of this month, beginning of July, everything was going to go bang, and that has happened today. Dominic Szoboszlai on his way to Liverpool, Arsenal closing on Jurriën Timber, Manchester United moving for Onana, Manchester City making more moves, Newcastle making more moves, Tottenham making more moves, and Chelsea set to push for Moises Caicedo. And today it is Chelsea that I'm going to look at and focus on as we look at what they're doing at Stamford Bridge, their transfer dealings, and how they're trying to build a squad for Mauricio Pochettino next season. Make sure you hit like and subscribe before we begin. It really helps us out so you're with us throughout the transfer window for all the updates on what's going on at your club. But onward with the video about Chelsea. Let's start about the news about Levi Colwill. He has been offered a new deal. As I exclusively revealed in April, that was always the club's plan. They always wanted to keep him and offer him a new contract. They see him as a future England captain. They see him as a future England regular in the senior side, and they have zero intention of selling him at this stage. Brighton obviously keen to make his loan deal permanent, but Chelsea not playing ball with that at all. He's not been involved in any Caicedo negotiations. We will talk about that shortly in this video as well. Colwill wants playtime guaranteed. He wants to be playing. He wants to get more opportunities to play for England as the competitions come up, Euros come up. He wants to be involved in these things, and he will have a talk with manager Mauricio Pochettino to discuss his role and his playtime. As things stand, Chelsea have four defenders, four centre-backs they can rely on. Thiago Silva, Badiashile, Wesley Fofana and Levi Colwill. So the opportunity certainly is there for them to offer him the playtime that he requests and desires. We shall wait and see how that conversation goes. But a good deal offered. My understanding is the wage is representative of a first team defender at Chelsea, of a regular starting defender at Chelsea, which would be a high wage for him. And it's a long-term deal as well. But Chelsea obviously want to hold on to the likes of Colwill, especially after losing Mason Mount to Manchester United. Obviously, that situation I spoke about this morning on the morning show. I'll just quick recap. He's gone to Manchester United, obviously, signed a deal with them and the fee has been agreed between Chelsea. I said when it hit that £60 million mark a number of times, the deal would be done, and that is what has happened. There's been reports of arguments and nastiness, and I've never heard that. And I'll report what I've heard. I've never heard that. I've just heard it's a disappointing situation for all involved, and that Chelsea are sad to see him go, and he's sad to leave. He wanted around that 250k mark. Chelsea got up to £200,000 in their offer, and Chelsea have a wage structure they weren't budging on, not even for Mason Mount, who's been at the club since he was a child. So he has joined Manchester United on a deal worth around £250,000 a week. It does move up to 300k as reported with bonuses. So he's earning more, and he will be playing under Erik ten Hag. And will that come back to bite Chelsea, losing Mason Mount to a rival? Time will tell. We shall see. Time will tell on that front, but certainly a big loss to the club and to Mason Mount to no longer be there. But not the only player that's left, of course. Chelsea have had a glut of outgoings with Mendy and Koulibaly, and then Loftus-Cheek also left. Ziyech, well, his deal's fallen apart with Al Nassr as things stand. Not quite dead in the water, something they could come back to, but they weren't happy with the results of a scan from his medical, and he also wasn't fully committed to the conditions put in the deal in front of him, the 3-year deal as well. So in 6 months, 2 deals have fallen apart for Ziyech. Remember, in January, on deadline day, he was in the offices at PSG ready to move, and that fell apart, and now this is on the brink of not happening as well. As things stand, it has fallen apart. We shall wait and see what happens moving forward in that one. At the time of recording this, things could change, but of course, not good news for Hakim Ziyech, who Chelsea are trying to get off the books, but at this point, it's not moving in the direction that they would like it to. However, the midfield is a rebuild, isn't it? That is an area they want to we'll talk about after I talk about up front. We know Chelsea need a striker. You don't need to be a football genius to know Chelsea need a striker. It's a main priority for Pochettino and his recruitment staff. And the 3 names I'm going to talk about, let's talk about the first one, and that is Osimhen, who is Chelsea's dream scenario. This is Chelsea's dream outcome, is Victor Osimhen landing in as their number 9 for next season. A lot of eggs have to fall in the right basket for Chelsea to be able to pull this off. It would be a big deal. You're looking around 120 million euros, certainly over the 100 million euro mark for Victor Osimhen, and Napoli are keen to keep hold of him as well. They don't want to sell him either. They're not keen to let their star striker go. They want to offer him a new deal, and if Chelsea are to go into negotiations with him, then that will be tough you know, that Napoli are a team that know what they want and stick to it. So Chelsea would have to get through that as well. It's interesting that deal's not been signed by Osimhen yet, though. So that does speak volumes. Maybe he knows. Well, he does know. Teams are interested in him, and perhaps he would like to explore those opportunities further. Still 2 months to go in this window, and a lot of time for major surprises to happen. But certainly Osimhen is one that Chelsea would love. So that is their dream scenario. Lautaro Martinez is loved by Mauricio Pochettino. He's a player that he would love to bring in. He sees him as the perfect pressing forward, a man that's non-stop, gets goals, 20 plus in the last 3 seasons, over 100 goals for Inter Milan as well. Now World Cup winner, Champions League finalist, and has been key for Inter Milan, again this season. So certainly a player that's on the radar around the €70 million mark. Could see something happen here. And that certainly is more attractive to Chelsea if the budget doesn't allow them to have 120 million on Victor Osimhen. And this is all affecting the goalkeeper position. Chelsea do still want a goalkeeper. It's not that they're not signing a goalkeeper. There's been a lot of talk of Kepa being the number one, but my understanding is they want to keep that financial backing for up front. They're also about to spend a lot of money on Caicedo, all going to plan, which we will talk about as well. And then Dusan Vlahovic is a name that keeps coming up and keeps coming up and keeps coming to me and keeps getting given to me. And my understanding is that certainly, I know it's a player that's on Chelsea's radar and on their list. He's a cheaper value option, of course, because of Juventus' financial situation. He also is a player that's expecting to leave this summer. And whether that be Chelsea or someone else, I expect him to leave this summer too. So another one to keep an eye on for sure. But yep, you're all shouting at me saying, Fraser, what's going on with Caicedo? So let's talk about the midfield, shall we? Moises Caicedo, of course. Chelsea are pushing on this now. The full negotiation of full bid is imminent. It will be £70 million plus 10 we expect. They're going to hit that £80 million mark. That is the mark Chelsea believe they can get a deal over the line with for Moises Caicedo. A lot of talk that Brighton will set nothing under than £100 million. My understanding is that is very negotiable, and the £80 million to 85 could be a doable deal here. We expect this to move quite quickly over the next week. And my expectation, it's not my... I'm not saying it's a done deal, so don't tweet out, Fraser has said done deal. Don't do it. My expectation is Caicedo will be a Chelsea player. He has said yes to Chelsea's terms. He understands the role he will play under Pochettino. He's excited to be part of that. And it's a big move for him. He's not dictated to by the Champions League and other things like other players might be. He just wanted that move so he can repay things back. He's got different motives perhaps from others. He wants to help his family financially and other things, and Chelsea are offering him that opportunity for that big move. He's also on a promise from Brighton. When he signed the new deal, it was signed on the promise that in summer he can move for the right fee, and that £80 million mark is certainly a fee that Chelsea believe gets the deal done. We're sitting waiting now for the call that the bid has gone in fully, and Chelsea are pushing on this, and things are starting to advance. It might have happened by the time I'm recording this. The amount of things that have happened when I'm recording a video is always quite funny, so I have to put my thing on Do Not Disturb so I miss calls. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what I'm going to walk back into on my phone whilst I'm recording. But anyway, pushing on for Caicedo, Chelsea top target. They want him, and I expect it in the next week, couple of weeks, you'll see this happen. I think if it's gone over 2 weeks, Chelsea will be a little bit gutted that it's been taking that long. I don't expect it to take that long at all. There's also 2 more options here I'm going to talk about, and one of them is Romeo Lavia. Chelsea have done a lot of groundwork on Lavia. He's a player they are keen to bring in. They'd like him at the football club, but here's the but. There's a lot of clubs in this. Arsenal have done really well on Lavia as well, pushed a lot. Arteta has spoken to him. Arsenal has spoken to him. It's a deal he would like to make happen. He'd like to see it happen. He would like to be a player that plays in that system. And Chelsea have dropped back slightly, but not out of the race. You could see Chelsea move here as well. Liverpool like Lavia. Manchester United like Lavia. Manchester City have a buyback clause that becomes active in 2024 as well. Don't forget, but they could be pushed to move early on that, although at this point in time, it doesn't look like anything happening on that front. Man City will benefit. They have a sell-on fee of 20% anyway, don't forget, so they will benefit from whatever is made. And a deal of around £58 million can be done here for Romeo Lavia. But let's talk about Gabriel Veiga. Veiga becoming more of an option for Chelsea. A £34 million release clause as well attached to him. That's something that excites Chelsea Football Club. Something that's very, very, very appetising because of the fee there. A young player with a lot of talent. Chelsea have asked for the conditions of the deal, as I put out 2 days ago. They are interested in him, they've spoken to his agents, and I think this is one that can now start to move over the next week or so. He's becoming more and more of a target for Chelsea as time goes on. He's moving up that list, and Veiga certainly a player to watch out for Chelsea in the next week or so. Young, talented, of course. They've got Santos in there, they've got Enzo Fernandez in there, they've got Caicedo in there, at this point in time Gallagher in there too. And if they bring in a Veiga as well, would that be enough to cover them for the season? Got to remember, Chelsea do not have European football next year either, so they're not setting up for two competitions. They're setting up a side that Pochettino wants to work with. And another point, when Pochettino won or went to the Champions League final with Spurs side, wasn't the biggest squad as well. He doesn't work with huge squads. Chelsea's squad has been very, very fat. They've done a lot of thinning, and now they can add a bit more spice in there with some signings, which is what they're looking to do to help Pochettino build that squad. So it's a busy few days ahead for Chelsea Football Club. A busy few months ahead for Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea fans, you can start to get excited. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you want to come in? Lavia? Do you want Veiga? Are you excited about Caicedo? Who do you want up front? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter. Click on the link in the description, as well as all the links for Football Insider. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.